Hello. Welcome back to the channel for episode 4. Sorry, I've been away for a week or a few weeks, which is why this one's not out at the same time as it normally would be, but we are back now. In the last episode you saw me restoring and painting the rear subframe, and off camera I've done the upper arms, the spring and pouches, also the trailing arms. So in this video, I'm going to be removing the fuel tank off the bottom of the car, stripping all that down, painting up what needs to be painted, and basically prepping the car for welding. So first step, I'm going to get the fuel tank out. Did fill it full before I started working on my car, the tank, so it's maybe about 70 litres or so hopefully it's not too heavy, but so use the jack to help elevate it and hold it and stuff like that so it doesn't kill me. And yeah, so we'll get the fuel tank out, start stripping down all the metal, any bad bits. Stay tuned, enjoy, like and subscribe please, it does help and it makes me feel good. So there's been a revelation. This metallic rusty remains is where the fuel tank bracket sits. I'll just show you by sticking that back up there. I just stuck my impact onto this bottom bolt here, obviously just try to like take it out. And instead of the bolt coming out, it just torqued that plate off the actual car. I mean it's off now, so it was technically a success. But I'm obviously going to have to fab one of them up and replace that. But there's one out. Let's do the other side. Good news and bad news. Good news, petrol tank's out. Bad news, petrol is also out. Ta-da! Yeah. It's fucking Tesco's 99 as well. It's a load of money down the floor. You hate to see it. Petrol tank out. Either still this big line, these two little lines that are going up. And they go up through the rear arch here and come down here and go into just up there somehow. There's a charcoal canister, whatever the fuck that is. It really smells like petrol in here, so I'm gonna disconnect those lines and call it a day because I'm not going to be using any power tools with this on the floor because that's kind of asking for a disaster, so we'll leave it there. Up cunts, I am back. The bomb has been defused. All that fuel's evaporated, thankfully. So I'm going to get these last 3 lines off here, and then we'll have a look under the car, see how bad it is, and go from there. Oh fuck. Doing a lot of grinding now down to bare metal to get a good look at what needs fixed potentially, what needs painted, and if any weld needs done, stuff like that. So let's crack on. I've taken the arch liner out as you can see, and this, hold on, let me switch the light. This black one here that looks kind of corrugated, so there's that one, and there's 2 blue ones behind it. I don't know if you can see that. They are these 3 here. They go up. I don't want to disconnect them from this side because it's going to be a nightmare to try and fish them back through that hole there, or whatever the fuck that dirty mess is. So I'm going to do is disconnect them from the tank side down here. So I'll just be taking this video so you can see if you're doing this, and also to remind myself when it comes time to reassemble stuff. So stick my light here. So magnetize. Oh yeah, rust's not magnetic, but fucking hell, go. I think that'll do. Right, so we've got our black line coming down. That goes over to this point on the passenger side, left side, if you're looking at the back from the rear. That goes to this guy. The blue line coming down, this one, goes all the way here into this far clip. Clip that out. And then the close clip, and that routes all the way back down and goes into this point here. So that's that blue one. And the main big guy just comes right here. Fine. Right, so we take these off. Take them off. Make sure the holes are plugged or sealed so we don't have any more fuel mishaps. Then we can get this out of the way, crack on with cleaning up, have a look at how the underside looks. There's a few bad bits, including brackets and stuff that I'm going to need to get, but good job that I'm doing, because if not I'll just be driving on this in a few years down the line. Could be massively worse. So yeah, let's crack on. So fuel tank's out. Over here in the corner where it's hiding from the sparks and fire. Disgusting, as you can see. Looks like something's been living in here, eating peanuts and that. It's like that wee fucking gimp for Ice Age, the wee squirrel bastard. He's been in my car. Anyway, fuel filler neck out, which goes up here, obviously on the other side of the cap. The, what's it called, the charcoal canister, which sits up here on the battery box. Got that off. And now the final bit is just this guy here, which I don't actually know what it is, to be honest. I don't know if this is part of the atmospheric vent system. It just has a kind of vent for when your tank heats up and cools down, that obviously expands and contracts, so it needs to kind of vent the hot air somewhere. I don't know if that's what this is, but fuck knows. Anyway, we're taking this out because I had to clean up all of this up. It was also housing some sort of illegal spider, so get him to fuck, because it was quite big and all its children are just kicking about. So on this thing, forgot even how this goes up. It seems to, I think it sits up kind of in this orientation somehow. This blue peg on the bottom which holds the filler neck on. On top we've got this white plug, this blue guy, which is the one that goes around into one of the charcoal canister ports. Then we've got on the underside, sorry, we've got the blue plug there that goes to that black line that goes through to one of these. And then we've got this blue line which wraps all the way around. Don't you see, because my glove, that guy there, wraps all the way around, goes up and then back through to here, this blue line here. So that's that. And then there was also this line that goes in the charcoal canister, but I actually don't, this was kind of just sat there. So yeah, I'll have to do some investigating and find out where that's from, or if it's meant to just be open. Like I say, that could be the atmosphere one, I don't know. We'll find out though, but getting there slowly but surely. These lines are out the way as best as can, and I've cleaned the unit up a bit so I can roll about on the floor crawler guy without getting caught on bolts and stuff. So I'll take you under the car now, show you what it's looking like, some rough spots, and point out some bits that definitely gonna have to do something about. So yeah, join me under the car. Right, so this is the driver's side. This is where the rear subframe mounts. Bit crusty, no cracks, happy with that. Move over to the passenger side. What's that? Big fucking crack. Yeah, you definitely see there, big crack. So I have to weld that, but this is where reinforcement plates are going over anyway, over these bits, that bit in the front too. But it's looking okay other than that, to be honest. It's just some surface corrosion, but I'll grind that back and paint everything. We've got this rusty mess here. This is the, and that's where the front of the fuel tank bolts to. But I'm going to get new brackets for this anyway, because the other side snapped off, as you'll see in a second. So new ones of them anyway. All this also gets reinforced here around this bolt here, but it's looking not too bad. No cracks or that I can see. Get a little weld on plates over these bits which hold up that diff front carrier mount thing. Other side is more mangled, but it's okay. Obviously spider webs and that, but who cares about that? And then that's the other brake bracket, or what's left of it rather. So pretty much have to drill out the spot welds there, and then weld in the new one that comes under. So this is under the back seat of the car pretty much. So there you can see the interior. Hello. Looking pretty good in fact. Just some minor surface rust. No like cracking on that obviously. Rear trailer arm pocket seem to be okay. A little bit of crust on the sill, but we'll see what we can do about that. And pretty much the same on the other side. Everything's pretty good, so overall happy with that. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Still got a decent amount of work to do, but yeah, we'll just get out of the way. Before I go as well, so we've got these are the pivot points for the fuel tank strap arm thing.
So obviously it gets bolted at the front and then it kind of just hinges on this bit here. But they come with that new kit because, as you can see, they're pretty crusty as well. But other than that, do you know what, it's actually quite solid considering it's a 20-year-old car that's lived in, well, the UK. Absolute fucking salt-ridden country. So let's just slide out of here. Right, let's get grinding. Also, a good thing to do, you should probably do this before getting to the point I'm at, but anyway, is disconnect your battery and take that out. One, on these cars, these like to rot, the actual battery tray. This metal plate's fine, but under that, it's quite bad on the bottom side. And if you're removing rust from the bottom side, you don't want to make this so weak that the battery will fall through, because that will fucking hurt. Plus, to do any welding, you need to disconnect your battery, or that's a sure way to fuck up your car's electrics. This is the reinforcement kit I've went for from PSD, PS Designs, on eBay, same as the reddish motorsport ones. So these are for the rear subframe, and there's obviously two of these. These are for the back, and these are for the front, I believe, where the subframe bolts go in. So we're going to offer these up, sketch around them on the car, and make sure we clean that bit up nice. And then paint it with that zinc primer I was talking about. And I'm going to show you a good tip you can use to get them perfectly centre, because this is where the bolt goes through for the subframe. You can use a wheel nut to actually centre it, but I'll show you that in a second anyway. So join me under the car. This is just after a quick bit of cleaning, so I've just used degreaser, then a wire wheel basically. And we can see that cracks come up now, but that's okay. That'll have some sprung tension on it probably, so what we'll do, we'll just drill a little hole this end and the top end, and that hopefully should just let it kind of settle, and then just put a bead down here, a weld, make that hole again. So we've got our plate for this side, so you can see it's got quite a big footprint, which is obviously good. The more the better, because it's just basically adding double the strength the chassis already has. You're gonna have to fold in this bit here. Hold on, let me actually stick this up. So this is the tip I was going to show you. So what I've done is I've just got one of the standard wheel bolts, and you can see it's tapered, and it also fits, it's the same thread as that, so you literally just screw this up into where the subframe bolt goes, and since that's tapered, that centres this perfectly around the bolt. So that's where it's going to be. So all it's basically going to have to happen now is any little bits, like gaps like this, just going to have to kind of try bend this in a little bit, bend this in to follow this kind of curvature here, and then weld around it. And these little holes are called plug welds, which, if you think normally if you just weld around the perimeter of this plate, then it's not really attached to the chassis and like the middle bits, so this just kind of ties it in with the middle. And I'm guessing that's what this strip here is for as well. I'm going to mark out around here just with a Sharpie, or kind of scratch it in with a screwdriver, whatever, clean up this area, and yeah, go from there. So there we are, that's that all cleaned up with the angle grinder. I was going to show you in a time lapse, but my little tripod thing just broke unfortunately, so I wasn't able to do that. But yeah, I'm just using a strip disc, the little purple or blue one, on the bare metal and undercoating, and it's coming off pretty easy. The only thing to notice is the undercoat's like kind of rubbery, I don't know how to describe it, so that does gum up the wheel quite fast and stuff, but I mean, it's working a treat, so what more could you ask for? But this is all nice, and why have my phones in and out? Easy tiger. So this is all prepped now. So what I'm going to do is get the paint and just paint it to make sure that it's protected basically. So what I'm going to do to finish off this video is I'm going to do the other side over here, get that painted, call that a video, and that means the next episode we're ready to do just welding. Well, there we are, that's one of the corners prepped, painted, all that ready for welding. Cleaned up the other corners, but you'll see that in the next video. You'll see here what the finished painting looks like, ready for obviously welding. Thank you for watching, hope you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed, will you please subscribe and like the video? Like and subscribe or I'll come to your house.